Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Caroline, the original Dragon Lady, and if this is your first time, welcome to Dragon HQ and Dragon Studio. I often get asked from people, do we have a guardian dragon like we do a guardian angel? Do we have specific dragons that work with us? The simple answer is yes, really. So we have, from a guardian perspective, we have a dragon which has been with us from our very, very first incarnation. Now, that incarnation doesn't need to have been here on Earth. That incarnation could have been in any dimension or galaxy or universe, because what the dragons tell me, we have multiples of each of them. And your form doesn't have to have been human. It could have been any form. And it's at the point of your first incarnation, you would have been assigned a dragon. And this dragon has been with you since day dot. So wherever that first incarnation took place. And I suppose they're a bit like the person that keeps the score, if you like, around your life and your experiences and your contracts. They're not there to give you a slap or a finger wag, but what they do is they know about your strengths and your weaknesses, about what you've brought through from previous lives, and what your contracts are, and whether they were completed or not, or whether because we agree to a contract when we come here. We, of course, the minute we arrive, we forget it 9 times out of 10. So we agree to particular experiences. And so our guardian dragon is there just to keep us on track, to fulfill contracts, but to also protect our space. So they'll work on, I suppose a perfect example, and I've spoken of this once before. I was out walking the dogs in the dark one night, and I got really spooked, and I really felt that there was somebody or something, but there was eyes watching me. Now, bearing where I live, it's probably foxes, owls, badgers, or whatever. But I just felt these eyes boring into my back. It's like really not comfortable. And so I asked my dragon to join me and to protect my space and me. And this whoosh came in, and I just felt like a weight coming behind me, and these wings wrap around me, protecting my physical space. I went, oh, that's better. Thank you. So they are here to do the checks and balances around our life, but not where it carries any kind of karma. That's not the impression that I get from them, but about encouraging us to be the best we can be, really, within our path. But they also protect our physical space, so you can ask for their protection. So that's your guardian dragon. He or she is often the ones I get asked about the most. But your team is far greater than that. So you have guides, teachers, and if you're a healer dragon. And the healer dragon comes in a couple of different ways. So your guides will support your physical incarnation. So they will help you within your physical reality of your life in whatever is needed. They will not tell you what to do. People often think that dragons will tell you what you've got to do in your life. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Doesn't happen. But they will, I call it the trail of breadcrumbs, because that's what it's like following. And they'll drop a breadcrumb here. And so you go to that breadcrumb. And then they'll drop another one a little bit further along, and so you follow that breadcrumb. Sometimes they're very closely spaced. Sometimes they are bloody miles apart. It just depends on what's occurring and whether you have to work things out for yourself. Because that's some of the things the dragons do. It's about they're the best guides for helping us rely on our own knowing and our intuition and learning to trust ourselves and believe in ourselves, which is why they won't tell you what to do. So they'll give you a nudge in the right direction, but they won't tell you how to live your life or whether you should change jobs or whatever. They will use the universe to put something in your path. Your job is whether or not you notice it and do anything with it. But that's how the dragons work. So that's your dragon guide. So teacher is much more about your spiritual path. And they will literally give you spiritual lessons. They will tell you about the universe, about spirituality, depending on where you are and what you're doing. They will talk to you about, bring you in star beings or power animals or spirit guides. They will guide your path on a spiritual level. And they've been doing that to me for the last 20 years. And with occasional instructions. So where the dragons won't tell you what to do, they will give you explicit instructions if you have a particular task to do for the collective. So I guess it's fair to say they actually don't give two hoots about your personal life and what drama's going on in that, because it isn't their business. They deal with the bigger stuff in life, is how it seems to be. That's how it seems. That's how it appears to me. Whenever I've tried to talk to them about anything on a personal level or the minute stuff we get, do I change jobs or do I change the car or, what am I doing about the kids or whatever? I get an answer back of, well, what do you want to do about it? Hello, that is not helpful. Well, it's not our job to tell you what to do, is the answer that I frequently get. But if it's something specific for the collective, you will get quite explicit instructions on what to do. Again, it can be like following a trail of breadcrumbs. You know you're on a path and journey, but you don't know where that's going to take you. And this is where you have to trust. Because you often, it's like walking blindfolded. You've got to go take this excursion. You've got to take these steps. You've got to follow these instructions. But you have no idea why, other than a vague feeling, or what the outcome's going to be. Only the fact that actually you've got to do it and no isn't an option. I know that one really well with the dragons. And that's where the trust comes in and you learn to trust. So that's what the dragon teachers do, or I think of them as the spiritual teachers. And they'll lead you sometimes on a bit of a merry dance. But when you step back and look at it and reflect upon it, you'll see the pattern and the correlation that it all makes. Sometimes it can take a long time. I think the longest it's taken me to join the dots together, all the dots together, to get that aha moment was 17 years. And that was actually this year. I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that 17 bloody years ago? It would have been so much easier. Why didn't I see it? Why didn't I join the dots together? And like everything, it's about timing. And the dragons are great at getting the timing just right for you being ready to do whatever's coming next. And then the final dragon that we have is our healer. Now, if you are a practicing healer, it's very likely that you'll have a healer dragon with you, and they will guide your healing modalities. And they can come in on any healing energy that you use. Reiki is really common. It's really common for dragons to first show up within the Reiki, either healing or attunements. There's a definite connection between the two. If you're not a healer, but you need healing, energy healing for yourself, there will be a dragon there waiting in the wings. And all you've got to do is ask them to step forward. And you can ask them for healing for absolutely anything within your own self. It's not appropriate to ask them to do healing for somebody else, on somebody else, specifically if it's your own personal healing dragon and you're not a trained healer. You're not allowed to interfere, and nor are they, with other people's energy and life choices. So you can't go sending dragons off to heal people. But for yourself, you can ask them to join you and, you know, give you an energy boost, a clearing, whatever it is that you need. And the healing dragons, or the healer dragon, will support you in that, and will do that with you. But of course, if you're trained in any of the healing modalities, you can invite your healing dragon to come in and either offer information about your client that is appropriate for you to know, or anything you need to particularly do with that client. So a particular place you need to place hands or pay attention to if you're doing something like massage or any of those kind of modalities. So the dragons are pretty far reaching, but they'll never do it for you. So they're big on a personal responsibility and personal accountability. Well, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do that? Then they ask you probing questions like, well, is it in your best interests? How does that make you feel? Where's that going to take you? What would you like to do with that? And they get a bit pokey. And sometimes we go down the path of, it's the thing to do. This is the latest thing. So therefore I need to learn it, train in it, discover it. I want to know about it. Sometimes we're just too in our heads with it. And so they encourage us to come back and feel. So when they start challenging you and are questioning what you'd like to do, feel into it. What's your body saying about it? Because that's how they like to talk to us and get us to understand what is a good fit for us and what isn't a good fit for us. And so about feeling that. What else was I going to say to you? There was something else that popped in. I don't know what it is now. No. I think that's it for this one. If it comes back, there'll be another video to come. Right, that's it from me. Enjoy working with your dragon team. I'd love to know how you get on and what you've got and how many you've got and how they work with you. Until next time, big love. Bye.